So Newcastle United's tour of Japan goes on. Today we're taking a quick look around Disney World. Well, Newcastle United players have been taking a look around Disneyland, and if they wanted razzmatazz, they've come to the right place.
The red and black Sorosub land speeder, vehicle ID THX41.
あ、そうだ。防御シールドをテストしなくちゃ。安全第一。後で後悔をしたくないからね。すぐに直すんだ。急げ。何するんだ。私をバカにするな。
ちょっと失礼してシャットダウンします。
It is true. I am a part. Very good one.
Yeah, so last night was a huge night at the fan event, and I think I don't think I've had any negative feedback at all from it. It was enjoyed by all the supporters last night here in Tokyo, and I think a few of them now are sightseeing around Tokyo and basically making the most of the time here. Lots of fans from all across the world travelled, but also you've got to remember what a huge city this is, and there's so much to see and do. So lots of them are doing that today. Obviously they play again tomorrow evening, the final game of the tour, and anyhow we'll be looking to get another win, I suppose. But hopefully for Newcastle this trip's been a big success, and they move on that second game now. Might see Bruno Guimaraes get a few minutes. We know he was in and around the Disney area on his trip here, so hopefully he's in good spirits going into that second game, and you know, he gets his pre-season off to a flying start. This is Lee Ryder from Chronicle Live, and Everything is Black and White podcast. I'm reporting right in the heart of Tokyo at one of the most famous landmarks in Tokyo, the Shibuya Crossing, and as you can see, it's very busy here. It's coming up to 9 o'clock at night. There's still so many people walking around, it's unbelievable. And Newcastle United's tour continues here in Japan. So we're just at the Shibuya Crossing here in Tokyo, one of the most famous landmarks behind me. So as you will see, it is a massive movement basically. Up to 2,000 people crossing the road here every few minutes, and that's no word of a lie, it's absolutely crazy. And yeah, you need to have a little bit of pace about you to try and keep up with it all, which is always a challenge. So to add to that, Newcastle United now in talks to try and sign Mark Ahey, Crystal Palace, had an unbelievable European Championships with England, didn't he? Was one of the stars of the show, one of the real positives for Gareth Southgate's team as they reached the final. And for Newcastle, it's now about, can they get the fee right? Can they give Crystal Palace what they're going to be asking for? Because we're told it could be around £65 million to bring him in, so that would be a club record for Newcastle. It would go past Alexander Isak, and it would set that bar really high for Newcastle United now. But bringing him in would be fantastic. We'd walk straight into the team, of course. But those talks definitely now underway. So to start the process with Newcastle with hopes that they can get the job done and pull it off, and it'll be a fantastic signing for Newcastle United. Now Newcastle are closing in on the signing of William Musala from Sheffield United. Now, does that really alter Eddie Howe's opening lineup on the first game of the season? Potentially not. We'll have to wait and see, but the starting lineup really could look very similar to what it did last year, last season. So I think for me, I'm just going to run through the what the 11 could be on that opening game against Southampton as things stand. And obviously we'll start with Nick Pope, who's had an unbelievable pre-season so far. He's probably in the best form I've seen him at Newcastle, and that's no exaggerating. He has been brilliant for Newcastle, but last season was difficult for him with injuries. But I think in pre-season he's looked absolutely fantastic. So Nick Pope easily will start in goal. Tino Livramento looks like he will get the nod at right back. Just with Kieran Trippier playing catch up, and obviously we're not 100% sure on his future, so it looks like Livramento might have the right back slot sewn up. Two centre backs as it stands. We haven't seen Fabian Schär yet, but I'm pretty sure he slots back in on the right hand side, and then it'll be Dan Burn to the left of him, who's played pretty much every minute in pre-season so far. So he's been captain in the team as well, so huge season for him as well. Now at left back, Lewis Hall's trying to make that position his very own, so that could be the two fullbacks, Hall and Livramento, Burn and Schär in the middle. Then midfield, this is where it starts to get really tasty. We've obviously got Bruno Guimaraes, who should be playing his first pre-season minutes soon, so we'll see what situation is there, but I would say Bruno will start against Southampton. Joe Linton will be alongside him at the moment, and then obviously with Tonali banned, could Sean Longstaff stake his claim as part of that midfield three? Is this his opportunity? But then you've got Joe Willock as well, who had an unbelievable performance the other night in the 45 minutes he played, so he's looked very good as well. So it's probably a very tight call between Willock and Longstaff, but when Tonali comes back it complicates it even more. So we'll see what happens, but for me, just my gut feeling at the minute is that Willock hasn't played too many minutes yet. Longstaff's played more than him. He may just edge in there against Southampton. We'll have to wait and see, but that's just my gut feeling at the minute. So that's your midfield three, and then the attack, well, Anthony Gordon will be back soon, and I would expect him to walk back into the team. Alexander Isak is the first name on the team sheet, and then on that right hand side, could it be Jacob Murphy? Could he get his opportunity? He's had a great pre-season with 4 goals already, in fine form, looking like he's enjoying himself. Miguel Almiron probably a bit out of sorts after the Copa America, uncertain future again. So that could be a lineup with, you know, no big marquee signings in there at the moment. That could change, of course, there's still time, but as things stand, I think that might be the 11 that is there or thereabouts in the mind of Eddie Howe.